guys, welcome back to episode 6 of Yes Support Pod. So today we're going to be talking about abstaining from sex until marriage. This one was hard for me because I am not a virgin. So when I heard the Lord saying that I needed to do it, I kind of was really like, why me? I guess. I wasn't in a relationship at the time, but I really was like, okay, if I'm not having sex until I'm married, but when I meet somebody and I get to know them and I really like them, might be a struggle, and I don't want it to be a struggle. But in doing it, I did find it beneficial. I found the reasoning, or I understood the reasoning as to why I had to do it. And I also had to walk in grace a lot because I didn't get it right a lot of times and so when I finally was like, okay, I'm going to really commit to this. I had got out of a relationship and I'm still not in a relationship. But that's one of the reasons I'm not saying that I don't think that I can do a relationship and abstain from sex. I didn't think it was a good idea to try to start a relationship while I'm actively trying not to. I figured I'll wait until I think I have better control or better discipline over that area of my life. But it is still like a fear, like getting in a relationship now. I've moved to a different state, so I don't really know anyone here. So it's kind of easier, I would say, because I don't know anyone, I don't like anyone, so it's kind of easier to walk it out daily. It's not really something that bothers me. But when I do get in a relationship, if I really like the person and I get to know them, I really didn't have any practical ways of making sure I didn't cross the line. And I mean, I knew you set boundaries, maybe like no spending the night, no late nights. But that only works for so long. So I think sometimes it's hard because I don't have a lot of practical, or not even practical. I just don't have I don't have a lot of ways to avoid this. And if you guys are actively abstaining from sex until marriage, if you guys have some ideas or some pointers, I would be grateful to hear them, because all I really got is set a boundary up front and, making sure that there's not any spending nights or any late nights. But that's all that I have. But for me, coming to the decision of, okay, I'm really finna get it right this time, was a hard one for me. I had really began to my journey of just, okay, I want to get this right. Lord, I want to stop learning the same lessons I've learned by making the same mistakes. And that was me going to therapy. That was me, being transparent with my friends. But I honestly didn't think sex was one of the ones that was an issue. But when he said abstain, I didn't understand the reasoning until I actually started to get closer to God, or I started to walk out my spiritual walk. It was a lot of clarity. I wasn't focused on, a relationship other than my relationship with God. I wasn't focused on, people pleasing or anything, just my relationship with God. So it was a lot easier to actually stay spiritually grounded when I wasn't in a relationship and I wasn't having sex. So I understood the purpose or the reasoning on the back end, but during the process, there was a lot of times where I would say I honestly felt lonely, and I was like, okay, I know I could talk to this person and I maybe would like this person, so we'll end up in a relationship. But it was kind of hard because it was like, do I really want to do that? And I had to really battle with myself, like, no, you're just lonely, you're gonna make a bad decision, or you're gonna go back to an ex and you don't want to be with that ex anymore. Like, so it really was a struggle to stay rooted, stay grounded, and stay disciplined in that area, knowing that I want something better. I want something better for myself. But like I said, I think grace was a big part of that journey, because I didn't get it right every time. But even when I had moments where I was like, Lord, I'm tired of this. Like, I can't talk to nobody. I'm not in no relationship. I'm just bored. I'm just lonely. My friends around me are in relationships, but I'm spending like every day, every night at home. I really had to be like, okay, you had a moment of weakness. Now get back on track. And I commend anyone who has done this successfully and has abstained until they got married. I even commend people who never had sex and waited till they were married, because I think it's different for different people. I think if you never had sex and then waited till you got married, I think you had an excellent discipline that I apparently didn't possess in my earlier life. And I think if you are trying to abstain from sex until you get married, I think that's a great discipline as well. Like, I think it takes a lot of discipline to make the decision, if you ask me, to just say, okay, this is something I want. It takes a lot of discipline to make that decision. But I will say that if that is something that you're doing, don't give up. Don't get discouraged. If you get lonely, I can't really tell you exactly what to do when you get lonely. For me, it's different. Like, I try to get out the house, try to go for a walk, try to find my friends and maybe do something with them. But just, if you are trying, I would say don't give up. Because I believe, and I can't say I believe though, that the reward is greater than the instant gratification that basically you would want. Or I would say the instant gratification that I want. I can't speak for nobody else, so I won't. But I would say the reward is better. So I would say just stay strong in that. And also, if you feel like it's something that you want to start doing, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you it's going to be easy, because it's not. But it will be rewarding in a lot of ways. It will be rewarding in the way you grow with God spiritually. It'll be rewarding in the way you think clearer. You have more clarity in the situation. It'll even be rewarding when you get into a relationship. Because for me, I don't think I ever put a lot of stock in building with someone, as in getting to know them and all of their past, and maybe if they had traumas, the type of household they're. I don't think I ever did a successful relationship in that way. So when a lot of them failed, I realized that our relationship maybe had a lot of more physical importance than it did on anything else. So it will be rewarding in the way that you handle your next relationship. You would know what it is that you want. You'll know what it is you're not budging on. You won't be the only. You'll make sure you're not the only one compromising in the relationship. It will be rewarding in those senses. So I would say, if you're doing it, stick with it. If you're not doing it, I'm okay. I understand, because if I was to be honest with you, I don't want to do it. But if you are thinking about doing it, I would say stick to it. Push through. Trust me, I know it's hard. I know it. Sometimes you are fighting with yourself. Like, sometimes I have to tell myself, hey, we're not doing that. We're not going back to old Shelby. So, and you got some sense today. Like, sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you got to look in the mirror and be like, hey, we want something better. We're going for something better. Come on, let's get focused. Let's go read a book. Even pray, read some scripture, get out and go for a walk. Do what you can. I will say also, with me in this journey of I had to filter what I watch. Like, I couldn't watch the same things I used to watch, because I don't think I realized how many shows had sex in it until I stopped having sex, and I was like, God damn, is there any more shows where people don't have sex in them? So I really end up having to filter what I watch, and find shows. I actually went back to a lot of older shows that are now streaming on different platforms. Hallmark is a good one. They just kiss on there. You get you some Hallmark. Hallmark is a good one. But yeah, no, I had to really filter, and I had to filter the conversations I was having with people too, because just because I'm abstaining from sex doesn't mean the next person is. And I also can't be mad if a person around me is talking about sex with me when I used to talk about sex too, if that makes sense. So I had to filter those conversations, like, oh, okay, I can no longer be a part of those conversations because I'm trying to watch what I do and watch what I say and how I think. So that was one of the ways I was able to kind of walk out this journey as well. Setting boundaries, filtering with the conversations I have and what I watch. I don't do a lot of late nights out when I do go out with a male companion. Now I'm not dating. I am single, and I really don't like nobody. So it's easier, like I said, in that sense. But when I do say, oh, okay, let me go out with a guy or with a friend, it ain't gonna be too late at night. I'm coming back home at a decent time, just to avoid that temptation if there was to be some. But those are really the only ways, or the only practical ways I can walk this out. But I would, like I said, if you're doing it, keep up the journey, because this a check-in. Because I know y'all want to check. If you want to check in with me, and I check in with you, because this is check-in. Because this baby is hard. It's not an easy process. It's a lot of, Lord, when you gonna send them, because we need to get married soon. Sometimes I even have to ask, am I still doing this for the same reasons, or is there now a different reason that I'm sticking to it? Because my reasons could change. I mean, I'm not where I want to be in my relationship with God, but I think I've gotten stronger in my relationship with God. But I also think that the reason is that I have to keep doing them changes. And so sometimes I have to check in and be like, okay, what are some of the reasons that I need to do this now? Because it's easy to think, it's easy for me to think, I'm not going to speak for nobody else, but it was easy for me to think, okay, Lord, I've been in my Bible. I done got better at this. I done got better focus. This no longer is an issue. Now, don't mind you, it said in the Bible that we shouldn't be having sex before marriage, but I still was like, okay, I done got stronger in this, so I think, I can go back. But I would say, just really, if you are doing it, or if you're trying to do it, just really stay committed to the process. And know it's other people out here walking the same walk. And know that if you need somebody to talk to, if you be honest with your friends about what you're going on and what you're doing, and they'll be there for you as well. But just stay committed to the process. That's all I got to say. And grace. Give yourself grace, because, man, I might not be having sex, but I sin. I know I cussed earlier today. So I still sin on a regular. I do not get it right every day. So give yourself grace if you went back to something, or if you did something that you was like, man, I said I wasn't going to never do that. And give yourself grace, ma'ams, in all areas, not just in this area. In whatever area that you feel as though I did something that I said I wasn't going to do, give yourself grace. Because we all go back and do things that we're not supposed to do. Sometimes you think you are no longer your old self, and you'll be shocked how quickly old self pop up, and you'll be like, oh, dang, I'm still that person sometimes. Okay. But grace. Give yourself grace. But that's really all I had to say today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it helps. Again, I'm open to the comments. Let me know what y'all do to make sure that you're able to build relationships with people and still abstain from sex, the boundaries that you guys set to make sure that you're always in a safe place or a safe environment where temptation won't actually prevail. So you guys let me know what y'all do. Comment, like, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.